Yo, what's up, guys? BrendanMushi. Got another Guilty Gear Strive exhibition match that we're going to be taking a look at today. So before I actually start the match and let it play through and just kind of give my thoughts on it, the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to take a moment to kind of discuss Nagoriyuki and how his blood gauge works and generally his playstyle, because I feel like I personally was pretty confused about like how this guy actually plays, other than he has sword normals and he's just swinging his sword around. So we know he's a vampire, we know he has a blood gauge, so I wanted to kind of take a moment to analyze what I noticed about his blood gauge to see if anybody else noticed these things. Maybe it might help some people that are interested in playing him and kind of create some dialogue on how this character is going to play. So yeah, let's take a look. So his blood gauge is obnoxiously placed really high above the tension gauge for some reason. It's about here. Tension gauge is down here. I'm sure they're going to change that because they said the game isn't finished. A lot of things are still in development. The poke that Goichi is throwing out here as Nagoriyuki looks to be his far slash to me. This poke looks obnoxiously far. Like his actual like ground game is going to be really obnoxious to deal with. But one thing I noticed about the blood gauge is the blood gauge seems to only fill when Nagoriyuki performs special moves. So you'll see him do his command dash. So that's a command dash that he has. It's not his normal dash, it's a command dash. And because it's a special move, it actually builds the gauge for him. Notice Nagoriyuki's blocking attacks and the gauge is not filling, it's going down. And then notice Nagoriyuki performs 2 punches and the gauge also does not go up. So when Nagoriyuki is blocking attacks and when he is attacking with normals, the gauge is not going up. Now, you'll notice that when Nagoriyuki connects with a sword, blood comes off of the opponent and goes to Nagoriyuki. But it might make you think right there that he absorbed blood from the opponent, but that's actually not the case. So the reason why it looks like that is because when Nagoriyuki actually hits the opponent with a sword, it does draw blood from them, but the blood doesn't go to him and increase his gauge. You'd think, right? You would think that's how that works. But actually, the blood that flows into Nagoriyuki when he does that actually decreases the gauge. What increases it is him doing his special moves. So it's a coincidence that right here, Nagoriyuki does what I believe is his far slash into heavy slash, and then he cancels into a special move. This is what causes the gauge to go up, not the blood over here. So what happens is he does a special move, and then the blood will actually cause the gauge to decrease. So we'll see more examples of it here. So see how he hits him with a normal and the blood flows to him, but the gauge does not go up. So if you don't have, so see he's hitting him, that's far slash into heavy slash, and then now he does a special move and see the gauge shot up as soon as he did that special move, right? Boom, boom, special move, and as soon as he did it, the gauge shoots up. Normals, nothing, special again, and it goes up. So shout outs to Afro Samurai right now, Afro Yuki. But yeah, so that was one thing I wanted to note. I read on Twitter that apparently when Nagoriyuki maxes out this gauge, which we don't see it in this match unfortunately, when he maxes it out, apparently he goes berserk, and that might be the install we saw in his trailer. And when he goes berserk, I believe it's some kind of high risk, high reward mode. It said that he's like vulnerable, so maybe he like has access to new tools and more damage, but he also takes more damage, like something kind of similar to like a ABBA situation in Guilty Gear XX. So what his gauge seems like to me is that Nagoriyuki, when he uses special moves, his gauge increases, and when he attacks with sword normals, the gauge decreases. The blood flows to him and the gauge decreases. And so you may not want to max out the gauge. And so it seems to me like Goichi throughout the match is managing the gauge in such a way that sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. I've also noticed that it seems that Nagoriyuki can actually cancel his special moves into each other, similarly to Sin in Guilty Gear Xrd. So it seems to me that with Sin, when you cancel your special moves into each other too much, you run out of your calorie gauge and you're stunned. With Nagoriyuki, it seems like you can cancel special moves into each other and they'll increase the gauge, and once maxed, you'll go berserk. So I just wanted to go over that real quick, things that I noticed, and then we'll watch the match footage with that in mind. So people who want to play Nagoriyuki are going to have to find out how to manage that gauge properly, it seems. Sucks that we weren't shown what happens when it fills, but you would, with a player like Goichi, if you wanted to fill the gauge, I feel like he definitely would have done it. He'd had multiple opportunities to, but chose not to. Command dash is in, but gets thrown out of the command dash. Alright, here comes Nage, throws the afro. which the Afro does increase your hurt box in this game. So he can probably hit you with some instant overheads. Command dash is in, not command dash, but uses the special with the clone. Yeah, I love that you can hit the Faust bomb at each other in this game. That's so sick. Yeah, and as you can see, as he's stabbing him, you see the gauge go down a little bit more. And I didn't see any interactions. That was nasty. I didn't see any interactions where the blood caused Nagoriyuki to actually heal. Like, I watched his health, and I didn't see that at all. It seems that, like... Oh. Blew himself up. Pressure. Yeah, see, the gauge is almost maxed out now. Now, you know, if he wanted to max it, it'd be really easy. Now, look at that. Look at how much blood... Sorry, I'm going to stop this real quick. Look at how much blood he got back when he hit him, and all that blood came to him. So, that blood is actually reducing the gauge. See? And then as he does more special moves, you can see it go down even further. And so I want to break down this combo here, and this is why I think that this character... So this sequence here kind of confirms a lot of the things I think about the character. Like I said, I may be wrong, but I want to... Let me slow this down real quick. So first things first. So punches don't do anything. They don't give him blood. They don't fill up the gauge. Now, as soon as he hits him with that jump heavy and it trades, he gets all this blood flowing to him, and that reduces his gauge, as you can see in the bottom. And then when he hits him with the sword normal, the far slash into heavy slash, and then I believe this is 6H, you can see all the blood flowing to him. When he Roman cancels, you'll see the gauge going down. See, the gauge is going down. And then this is his close slash. He pulls out a mini sword. He pulls out the small sword for his close slash. And then this is a special move. So this, you can tell it's a special move because his gauge goes up. And again, the gauge only goes up with special moves. So the gauge isn't going up, which tells me all three of those attacks are normals, right? Slash, heavy slash, 6H. Because the gauge would have went up if any of those were special moves. And then he Roman cancels without doing a special. Close slash, because the gauge still isn't going up. And then he does a special move, because the gauge just shoots up right there. Boom. He does a special move. Now, with this, he cancels into command dash. So those are two specials that he just did. And you could tell because the gauge shot up quickly when he did both of those. He did that red sword slice special move into the command dash, converted off of it with close slash, and then goes into, looks like heavy slash again. So that really kind of gives us some insight onto how the gauge works there. All right, back to the match. Yep, and of course the gauge doesn't carry over to the next round. Never does. Stab from Faust, the re-thrust. I love this interaction right here. Throws the bomb at him. Parade. Pressuring with the clone. Yeah, Goichi's playing mad patient. Look how focused Goichi looks. The rally with the bomb, that's pretty hype. The way they can just like play tennis with the bomb back and forth. Oh, Mini Faust interrupted the combo from Nagoriyuki. Yeah, Faust has really good pokes, but Goichi's just playing so patient. Like, he's just blocking all the pokes, and like, Faust isn't exactly getting anything out of it. He's just harassing him, but Goichi's playing like super well. Yeah, and he did the same combo sequences before, which again I believe is far slash, heavy slash, 6 heavy slash, Roman cancel, close slash, and then he did that special move where he swings his sword upwards and it has like red blood coming off of it. Seems to be Goichi's go-to B&B with this character. Alright, pressure from Nage. Just zoning him out a little bit with items and pokes. Hit the bomb towards him. Yo, the way he hits it back at him, that shit was nasty. Alright, normal throw. He's got the parade behind him. The army. Yep. Walks back to get it. Ooh, nice counter hit. Alright, this time Nagoriyuki got it, so. Roman cancel, what's the pressure? Just jumps, dead angle. Alright, throw him back in the corner. Alright, item toss. Oh, just OTGs. Alright, gets the weight. Doesn't hit anyone. Ooh, nice backdash. Is that punishable? Oh, it's safe. Oh, this super is fucking great. Got him. Yeah, I love the way his mask breaks, because that's got to be unique to him. And he's got the shoutouts to all the Slayer mains. I know this shit had to hurt. I'm so sorry. They gave this dude the Slayer losing pose, man. Womp womp. That sucks for any Slayer mains that were looking forward to Slayer being in the game, because pretty much deconfirms him. Pretty much. Yeah, Nagoriyuki's got hella references to Slayer, so that super is really cool though. Yeah, Faust's ability to lock down the screen with pokes and items is really good, but I think his pressure has suffered a lot. He doesn't seem to have any really strong mix-up tools outside of the command grab. You know, without being able to FD cancel his drill and go for overheads, which is really cheap. I find Nage struggling to find a hit because Goichi isn't making any mistakes in neutral. Dashes in. Does Nagoriyuki... I'm wondering if Nagoriyuki just doesn't have a regular dash. Like, I'm wondering if he just has to use a command dash to get around. That's what I'm wondering, because I have not seen him dash without using that. I wonder if he just doesn't have one. Oh, there's his backdash. Never mind. Yeah, he has a normal backdash. So that definitely confirms the dashes we've been seeing him do are definitely command dashes, even more, because we see him do a regular backdash. Alright. Mini Faust, oh lord, he coming. Doesn't want to touch the afro. Oh, that's safe? Okay. Right, pressure. Ooh, I wish he didn't burst that. I want to see that. Oh, counter. I'm not sure if that actually comboed. I don't think it did. Ooh. Roman canceled the command grab when he jumped out. Ooh, gold burst. Tried to super him again. Gets the throw. Nage trying to make this comeback. Far slash, item toss. Jump H, get out the sky. Yo, the block, yo, the Goichi defense. Yo, the Goichi's best defense. Scooped? Oh my god, oh, it just gets back thrown. Damn. Took his ass back to Exert with that wake up throw. His wake up throws are not one frame in this game. They're not invul. So if the meaty is timed properly, you can't wake up throw people. So yeah, I like my impressions on both of these characters. I think that Faust, I have yet to see Faust's complete potential. Based on what I've seen of him so far, he seems like really all he can do is just like harass with pokes and control the neutral, and then once he gets up close, the command grab seems to be like his only real tool. We might see things change as time moves on, but we didn't really get to see how well Faust can convert off of his long range pokes, because Nage really didn't get a chance against Goichi's defense to really show it off. But we did get to see more of Nagoriyuki in this set than we did get to see of Faust. I feel like we get to see a little bit of insight into how his gauge works, how he can pressure you by sending out the clone, right? See how he can pressure you, but the cost of that is that gauge will increase, and so he has to hit you with sword normal attacks to cool that gauge down, otherwise he will go berserk. And I'm assuming the berserk mode is where the mask comes off in the trailer. I thought that was a super, but it might not be a super. It might just be what happens when you fill the gauge. So I wish Goichi would have just showed that off, but I feel like if it was something you wanted to do, Goichi's a smart enough player, he would have done it. It's not that hard to fill the gauge, just do a bunch of special moves. But the fact that Goichi is making sure not to fill it tells me that he has decided he doesn't want to go Berserk. But I would have just shown it off just to show it off for the people. But yeah, so those are my impressions on these two characters and the set that we watched. So let me know what your thoughts are down below as usual, and I'll be uploading videos of my thoughts on everything else related to Guilty Gear Strive and other fighting games too. Like I said, I'll definitely be uploading a whole lot more than I have been previously. So thanks guys for tuning into the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. So peace out.